It's time for the show.
All right. Welcome in, everybody. We've got Card Shop Guys, episode 11, guys, already.
11.
Up to 11.
Wow.
Let's get it. Let's get it.
Okay.
Bam,
Take that.
bam.
All right. First order of business. How do you Bluetooth pair one of these things? Because I don't know how to do it. So I'm using a cord. This was live. Somebody in chat, help me out.
Sure, we can figure it out.
How many Card Shop Guys does it take to figure out a Bluetooth mouse?
3 gamers. The gamers were now.
Navigating through, setting up a new, pretty sweet Razer mouse.
I have one of these at home too, and I've done it, and so I should know how to Bluetooth pair it. But you do that once every year or
Right. A couple things to talk through. We got some news and notes today. We're going to run through the hot list, and then everybody's favorite part of the podcast, Tinker Time.
Ticket up!
Boo, boo, boo.
Pew, pew, that's me.
as the air horns go off. Okay, so we got a couple things. Last Friday was the release of some product. And then this Friday, Jack and Trav, is the Perfect Order drop. And so that's a whole set. So let's break that down a little bit. Last Friday, we got Ascended Heroes poster collections. To date, it is the single largest amount of packs you can get in a product that contains Ascended Heroes. Sorry, outside of a Pokemon Center ETB. The Pokemon Center ETBs have 11 packs, but these have 10. And unlike Pokemon Center, these are available at retailers nationwide. So that was one of the products that dropped. Another product that dropped was a deluxe pin collection, which had 4 or 5 packs.
The pin collection has 5 packs.
Has 5
Pink
packs.
collections are back, baby.
That's right. And then one other non-Ascended Heroes product, which I didn't go validate this, but it seems accurate. It is a collection box that just dropped randomly the week before a set dropped. This collection box is the first Partners Illustration Collection Series 1. And it's got 2 packs in it. I think it's, what is it, guys? Mega and Phantasmal. Mm-hmm. And then there's a third pack with only 3 cards in it that has either the first generation starters in a connecting illustration art or second generation or third generation. So those products released on Friday. It went pretty well. We had quite a bit of them. We were able to sell them under market and have a lot of people pick them up. This week, we've got a full release for Perfect Order. So that's ETBs, sleeve packs, booster boxes, booster bundles, 3 packs, check lane blisters, all the products. So unlike Ascended Heroes, where we only got, that in that first time that Ascended Heroes on their first street date, where all we got were 3-pack blisters, this one is different. We've got a ton of product, different SKUs that are releasing. So that should release the day the podcast goes live. So we're gearing up for that, making sure we've got room. This is the first main set release that we have 3 months of being a Pokemon Play Store under our belt, so we are allowed to sell it. It is actually, the ETBs are actually on the shelf behind us. And so we have them in store for sale as of yesterday. So that's new. That's interesting. We got some of our deliveries early. Some of the challenges.
That's so nice, isn't it?
Yeah, I was just going to say one of the frustrations that I've communicated to Trav that neither of us are in control of is we get these big orders in, but they come in on Thursday. Or we even got one, Black Bolt White Flare's big order came in on release day.
Yeah, several times. When 151 came out, it was like one of the deliveries came on a Saturday, actually, which was weird because I was like trying to get the shop opened and we only had a fraction of the product. And so it is.
Yeah.
And sometimes that just happens. Like it just, they'll ship it out on a Tuesday and then all of a sudden it just takes a couple days to get here.
Yeah, we're not in control of, Winter Storm Samantha or whatever, right?
Yeah.
That comes in. But this was great. We received a pallet on Monday morning, almost as the store opened, which is fantastic. So we'll have more product hit the store before Friday, but we've got some to sell in store. With that brings a couple things that we have to do inside the store. We got to make room for more product. We have to make room on our trade wall for all the illustration rares and mega attack rares and special illustration rares that are there. We've got to put those up and get ready. Now, interested to see what other people think. Like we try to stay away from trading for those cards or buying those cards for a couple weeks until after the set has been released. Usually cards are very expensive in the pre-release period and then drop off. We spoke about that with the Gengar SIR. I think we were wrong. I think the Gengar SIR has stuck at $1,000 from pre-release until now. Maybe it was...
There's a couple. The Charizard went back up. The Gengar went back up.
The Gengar went down to like 800, and then it went back up to over 1,000 just recently. The Charizard, I think, is in pretty level.
Yeah. This set, though, unlike Ascended Heroes and even Phantasmal with the Charizard, there's not a lot of big desirable cards in this set, question mark. Trav, do you even know what you would want out of this set?
The Starmie is the only thing that I want.
Okay, Mega Starmie. The Gold Zygarde, we had someone in our pre-release, and we'll talk about the pre-release here in a minute. We did that last weekend. We had someone on the pre-release snag a Gold Zygarde. We had somebody else hit the Meowth SIR, which we've talked about. That's a desirable playable card.
The Meowth would be.
Yeah. I think the Meowth probably tops out in the $50 to $75 range.
I don't like the Clefairy. Like personally, like I don't like that character.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's cool art.
Yep. The OG stuff. There is a full art Pokepad in there, and for those of you unaware, Pokepad was a really desirable playable card that was not very common in Ascended Heroes. It wasn't an easy pull just for a common or uncommon, and a lot of people wanted it. There was a regional last weekend in Houston, and then the Pokepad is also in perfect order, and there's also a full art, and that becomes a desirable card, just like a full art rare candy or Ultra Ball or the new Boss's orders or whatever. It could be $15 to $20. As a reminder, like Shrouded Fable, some of their top 10 hits were playable cards: Gold, Metal, Energy, Pheasantipity, EX, SIR, etc. So, okay, let's talk. Go ahead.
Real quick before we move on, I know we've covered Perfect Order over the past few weeks quite a bit. It's kind of interesting to me, though, because I see a lot of these top-end YouTube creators trashing the set and stuff, but then they'll put up stuff like not stopping until I pull the Zygarde, or like, and I get it, it's content, right? They're just trying to keep content flowing for their viewers. But I do think that there is some, for lack of a better term, hidden interest in the set. Like, people want to play it off like they're not interested, but there are, like the Starmie or the Zygarde SIR. Like, there's still desirable cards in the set. I just don't think people are paying $1,000 a pop for them like Ascended Heroes.
Yeah, which is interesting because ETBs right now are around $90-ish, which is lower than most ETBs have been for the last 18 months. But booster boxes are still in the $230 range, which this could change by Friday. But that's still holding pretty strong for a booster box for a set that reportedly nobody wants, right? We even joked, we were wrong, but we joked that, the Pokemon economy was going to be destroyed by Perfect Order. But here it's coming in, quiet as a lamb, going out like a freaking lion. And I think we're going to find ourselves in a spot where Perfect Order is in a similar spot like any other $90 ETB that's in the market right now, which makes it desirable and people want it and they'll rip it. On the Japanese side, the equivalent set, Nile Zero, is not seeing an increase in booster pack pricing. We have it in store for under $3 per pack, and usually those first sets, even we're a little bit removed from Inferno X, the Phantasmal Flames 1-to-1, and its booster pack price is higher, and so I don't know what will happen here. The U.S. Pokemon economy is pretty crazy. It's very volatile. And we've talked about that, like 151 did some things, and once again, cards went down in value. Where's the Charizard SIR from Phantasmal at?
It's at like 820. Yeah,
that one went back up.
Yeah, I don't know.
Eight-
I'll be real, guys. That card is wicked. Maybe one of the best Charizards we've had in a while. But I don't. As small as that set is, there's only 5 SIRs in the whole set. There's got to be a ton of those that have been pulled.
There's a lot of Pokemon collectors.
It's just crazy, the demand. I've never seen demand for a card like that.
So in December, that card had a $537 market price.
Yeah.
And then at the beginning of February, it was $618. So at the beginning of March, it was $720. I mean, that card's just skyrocketed for a set that is, once again, small. What else is in that set besides...
Rotom SIR, the Mega Sharpedo, the Mega Lopunny.
What are those,
Dawn.
$25? $30?
Yeah, no, they're all under like 30.
I mean, you got the gold. The gold Charizard is like, whatever, $350.
Yeah, the gold.
And then I think the next card is like a $35 full art Charizard, which it feels like we could find ourselves in a similar situation with Perfect Order, except the top end I don't think is going to be $800.
Yeah.
I think your third or fourth card is going to be in the mid-30s. And I think maybe the Gold Zygarde or maybe the Starmie or something is going to be up there in the 100 plus.
So I did some research on pre-release pricing for Perfect Order and some of these singles, and the Gold Zygarde was about $300.
Okay.
The Mega Zygarde SIR was at about $250.
Okay.
And then from there it just dropped.
Yeah.
It was Clefable and Starmie were at $100 and $120 respectively.
Yeah.
And then Meowth was at like $130.
Yeah.
And then after that it's like $20.
And I think those hit half that.
Yeah.
I think with
And again, those are pre-release pricings,
Yeah.
which in most cases, pre-release pricing is double what the market settles at usually. So you could expect them to fall about half, like you said.
Yeah. Okay, cool. We just transitioned in a second. We had our first pre-release, first ever. Multiple people in the room had been to pre-releases before, so it wasn't like we were completely unequipped. A couple things. Pokemon that I learned along the way to our first pre-release. Pokemon has a default amount of pre-release kits that they send to Play stores, and that default amount is 20. And so even if you're a store that has 100 people coming a month to play, until you can get one full quarter in their system, they just issue you their default. So we had limited amount of seats available. In fact, one of our coworkers didn't get in. And
When was that? This weekend?
Yeah, that was Friday.
Yeah. So you had 40 people?
No, we only had 20 kids.
Oh, okay.
So I only had.
Oh, that's right.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right.
So I had 20 for the pre-release, and our next pre-release, I was informed also on a conference call with Pokemon. The next pre-release will only have 20 for that also, and then it'll flow from our numbers. And so, reached out to the hierarchy there and kind of questioned, hey, here's my current numbers of attendees. What am I looking at? And this week, I received the next quarter's worth of prize packs, which was about a 4X of the prize packs I had received before. And so that communicated that they are starting to look at our current turnout for play events and providing the increased amount of rewards for that. So that was beneficial. The pre-release was great. Just to break it down, it's not a bunch of hardcore Pokemon players that bring in decks that they practice with. It's none of that. You get a kit. In that kit are 4 packs of the new set and a pre-constructed deck with a deck guide. And so you open up your 4 packs, and whatever you get in there, you can add to your 40-card deck, and then you just sit down. You got 30 minutes to maybe put the deck together, and then you just go head-to-head across the table from an opponent. And some of the normal restrictions inside of the card game don't exist in a pre-release, meaning you can have 7 or 8 of the same card in your hand. Whereas in normal Pokemon, you can only have 4. You're capped at 4. And so one of the decks had an attack that was, hey, based on how many of these cards you have in your hand, you do 60 times the damage. And man, those dudes were running half their decks with those cards. So that was fun to see some of the creativity there. Had one of our guys go undefeated. It was just 3 rounds. It was relatively quick. And then at the end of that, we opened an additional 3 packs. And like I said, in that we had one guy hit the Gold Zygarde. We had another guy hit the
SIR Mouth.
SIR Meowth. SIR Jacinth was pulled. And then the full art Zygarde was also pulled. So
yeah, I did play in it, and I had a blast. It's really fun doing pre-releases because you get a lot of like the coin flip, goofy stuff that you don't really see in standard.
Yeah.
And I played against Caleb, one of our regulars, and it was a Tyrantrum mirror. And so I had to joke with him that whoever wins is the Alpha Rex of the shop.
Yeah.
And I ended up beating him. But Tarantrum has an attack. It
I
does
just ended
100
up beating him. I just had to
am
throw that
just
in
trying to throw
there.
that in there.
I won.
But,
and all,
but that's not the
but-
funny part of the story. The story is the attack does 160, and you flip a coin until you get tails, and for every heads you get, you discard the top card of their deck.
Yeah.
I flipped 8 heads in a row on Gale.
He just milled 8 of his
So in
cards.
pre-release, you only have a 40-card deck.
Yeah.
So I like a third of his deck, I just milled off rip, and it was just hilarious. But yeah, it was a good time.
In your first round, how many times did you draw pass?
Oh my goodness, like at least 5.
Yeah.
5.
That also happens a lot, where you're waiting for
Yeah.
1 or 2 cards, and you have no
Well-
deck search, you have no way to get it. You're not a hyper-efficient deck, and so you're just draw, can't do anything,
Yeah.
pass. And then your opponent is also draw, pass,
Yeah,
draw, pass.
they did the same thing. The guy had it was Aaron actually,
Yeah.
one of our other regulars, and he had to make a Zygarde. He pulled one, and so the whole time we're just passing and drawing, he's loading up this Zygarde, which for like 5 energy can do a 150 your whole board. But you have to flip a coin for each guy, and again, more coin flip shenanigans, right? And so he finally got it up and running, and he went to knock me out, and he goes tails, 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 and just couldn't knock anything out because he just got 5 tails in a row, and that's just fun. It was good stuff.
Yep. It was a good time. It's a little different than, like, once again, a competitive or ultra competitive environment. It's just some people that enjoy Pokemon wanted to see what was in the new set. So that was great. It went well. Okay, let's talk about Chaos Rising. This past week, we did receive Ninja Spinner in store, the Japanese set. We still don't know exactly what all of the top hits are going to be, how they're going to shake out from a value perspective. On the right, yep, there you go. Oh, he's grabbing a box,
Getting a
folks.
box.
So it looks like due to some
Just
competitive...
gonna open some packs, while we're here talking.
No big deal. Due to some competition for Ninja Spinner in traditional Chinese, it looks like they kind of have a pre-release tournament, and some of the promos that are stamped in Hong Kong historically turn out to be our pre-release promos. And so it's been communicated that it looks like a Crobat, a Gudra, Ampharos, and a
Yeah.
Delphox.
Yeah, so
Are
the
the-
Gudra we talked about.
Yep.
The Delphox, discard a card, fill your hand to 7. We talked about
Yep,
that.
yep.
Actually, I think that got cut off on the recording.
The Ampharos has an ability that if you have the same number of cards in your hand as your opponent, the Ampharos deals 80 more
Yep.
damage. The challenge is the stage 1 underneath Ampharos, the Flaffy, has an item lock for
Yeah,
40.
that's right.
And so if you throw a Relicanth down, you can do item lock for 120. Anyway,
Yeah, it's fun.
Crobat,
Which the Crobat is like Pidgeot, right?
it's like the Temu Pidgeot. You
Yeah.
search your deck for a card, you put it on the top of your deck. And then Gudra is interesting. When you try to retreat, you just flip a card. You got to flip a coin to see if you can retreat. So those are the potential pre-release promos. Outside of that, we haven't seen a ton of information coming up on this. It does feel like it is a 1-to-1 with Ninja Spinner. Releases May 22nd, which is the same date that the next Japanese set comes out, which is called
Abyssai.
Abyssai. So Abyssai releases on the same weekend that Chaos Rising releases in the US, which is interesting. Looks like the Greninja, which is currently the chase, has had a pretty healthy decrease in pricing in the $300 range. And I think we kind of called that. We kind of said it was going to
Yeah.
be like Twilight Masquerade. Let's see if Trav can pull one. You want to see it?
Here you go. Yeah. Hey, you guys just want to see it? Let me just pull it for you real quick.
Yeah, so
Well, I'm not going to open that one.
The Greninja's currently at 315.
Yeah.
I think the gold is at like 600.
For real?
Ninja Spinner.
Why are the golds so expensive when nobody wants them?
There's no golds on TCG Player right now. That's eBay pricing.
Yeah.
Broxy's Performance is the second highest card in the set at 65.
For reals?
Yeah.
That
And
is-
then AZ's Tranquility is third.
But Japanese pricing is always so
Yeah, it
much
is Japanese.
lagging, so a $65 card Japanese is actually pretty good.
What's really interesting to me about this set is that at the drop of the set, the Floor Greninja.
Everybody wants that one.
Hey, we got a Frogadier.
Nice. Frogadier illustration rare. I think they connect, Trav.
Yeah, they all 3 connect. But yeah, what was interesting about the set is the Floor Greninja was the second most expensive card in the set when it dropped. It was more expensive than the other SIRs in the set,
Yeah.
which is really kind of unheard of.
We'll take that one too.
That's not healthy.
Hey, there's the secret rare.
Let's
Draglage,
get it.
full
Nice.
art. Nice.
That means Josh has got nothing over there.
Yep. Thank you.
Give
Josh
him,
over here just
some
cried.
mercy.
He's like, oh.
Okay, we'll give Jack some too. There you go. Let's get through this.
Let me go down a quick rabbit hole. You can edit this out later.
No, we don't edit anything. You guys are stuck with this.
In Japan, there are 3 mainline Pokemon distributors. One is called Yellow Submarine. One exists purely. Oh, I did get something. A little clay doll illustration rare.
I like the clay doll. It's
Yep.
cool.
One is reserved for the royal family. One is called Yellow Submarine, and the other is co-owned by Bandai and Pokemon. Then there are 13 sub-distributors that exist to supply the nation of Japan with their packs from the distributors. And
The whole nation.
yeah, all 4 islands. And so there isn't like one wholesale distributor that gets a whole ton of product. Oh, nice. Retrieval?
Retrieval.
Yep. That gets a whole bunch of product and then dumps it on their favorite. Generally speaking, you have to win a lottery as a consumer at a Pokemon store, at a card store, to be able to buy product on release. And so you don't have an environment to do what happens in the U.S., which is buy a whole bunch of stuff at retail and then mark it up, because the secondary market doesn't really exist. They have booster boxes and they have single packs. And if you rewind and watch this, you'll see that Travis actually pulled shrink wrap off of this box, which means that it was destined for a store at a Pokemon store in Japan. If it didn't have shrink wrap, that means that it was bought at a store. It's almost against trade law to re-shrink a box in Japan. You get in pretty big trouble, and because it's almost cartel-esque, you can get excommunicated from buying from one of the 13 distributors. So
Yeah, you were saying that. So
There's
here's the Ampharos, you guys, for the pre-release.
oh, nice.
The artwork on the pre-release promo looked different, but yeah, you were saying that they take shrink wrap off.
There we go.
Yo,
The other-
oh yeah,
The other good chase.
Nice, dude.
Pretty good box.
I
so
like that
far.
art.
Yeah.
Ampharos my boy though. That's my Gen 2 boy.
I think the 2 best IRs that we just pulled out of the set.
Goregeist. Kraus talked about Goregeist last week.
And we got the ninja.
Did you get him?
No.
Oh, just
not
the
that one.
EX.
I got a ninja.
But yeah, I was kind of disappointed. I was really hoping Abyssai would be a part of Chaos Rising. Like
So we
talked about,
found out that
hadn't had-
it wasn't.
it's not. It's just a 1-to-1.
So
So
Chaos Rising is a 1-to-1.
yeah. So it's
Interesting. Another small set.
another small set.
Yeah.
Back to back to back. Which is really odd to me, and just again kind of reinforces what I was talking about last week or 2 weeks ago. That I think they're moving to just simultaneous release across the board, and to do that, they're going to just move to a 1-to-1 release from Japanese and English for each set. Which that's also going to be interesting when you get sets like Perfect Order and Chaos Rising that don't have a Charizard in the chase. What the value is going to be for some of these singles, because we all know, like we've seen, Perfect Order's probably not going to last at $250 for the chase. It's probably going to be in like remember Stellar Crown when Terapagos was like $120. That's a $30 card now.
Oh, I know. It's that set. Even like Paradox Rift, like the Roaring Moon's
Yeah.
like $20.
Yeah.
The Iron Valiant is like
And those are
or
and Paradox Rift
22.
is a big set. That's
Huge
like
set. It's one of my favorite
3
sets.
Japanese sets.
It's like I think the best artworks in it.
Yeah.
So that's awesome.
Yeah,
Interesting.
That, in my opinion, that's healthy to not have banger after banger after banger. You know, where you're $600 a booster box or whatever. I think that's healthy to be able to have something that's not crazy desirable from a collector standpoint, and has a price point that is still, for lack of a better term, more friendly. We're still in a spot though that you've got $10 a pack for Perfect Order.
Yeah, we're kind of at that place though. Like if you're a collector or an investor, doesn't matter. Would you buy Perfect Order for $250, or would you go buy Paradox Rift for $250?
I'd
I buy
Rift.
Paradox
Yeah,
Rift.
all day. Or Stellar Crown for $250. Like if you look, we kind of have this tranche right now. That's just a fancy word to say like this bucket tier, where you've got a lot of expansion sets, a lot of booster boxes. Where the SV era, outside of like the Paldea Evolved and the Destin Rivals, you're at $250 to $300 for the booster box price, which is the same going rate on release of all the new sets now. So you can go buy Phantasmal Flames or Mega Evolutions. Sub $300, you can go pick from 12 to 15 different booster boxes right now.
Yeah.
And so really, for me, if I'm going to put that money in a box, your best bet is to go put it like in a Stellar Crown or a Paradox Rift or an Obsidian Flames. I think Obsidian Flames is actually higher, which is still kind of surprising to me that I think Obsidian's higher than Paradox when Paradox has the much better cards in my view. But it's just
somebody
interesting.
was talking about that the other night. It was ETB driven was what they kept saying. Because of that ETB promo with the Charmander, the Obsidian Flames ETBs were ridiculous, and that was like driving the Obsidian Flames hype. But you don't get a promo with the booster box, so I don't see how that impacts the booster box pricing. I don't know.
I don't get it either. It feels like if you were to have you can't, but if you were able to get like a blind survey of best looking cards, right? Just from a general consensus standpoint. And you were to rank those versus what arbitrarily some third-party environment is ascribing value to, I think those two lists are completely off.
Look
right?
at this. So SV base $250, Paradox Rift $269. This is booster box pricing. Temp Forces $267, Twilight $299. Stellar is up to $305, so that's had a quite a bit of a little bit of a bump. Surging $280, Journey Together $263, Mega $290. Phantasmal $320, Perfect Order $230. So it's like, around that 250 to 300 range, you've got a lot of options open. And so it's like right now the hype is Perfect Order. The cards aren't, it's got a few artworks. I'm not really super a big fan of it. But if you were going to decide to collect, you have options for the same cost per pack going back 2 or 3 years on expansion sets. And so that's what's kind of cool about the hobby. Now, the interesting thing about it, though, it's not as fun. Like, if I pay for Paradox Rift and I pull the chase, I'm not going to post that to Twitter or X and get like, oh, my gosh, you pulled the chase, because, the set's been out for like 2 years. And you can go buy the chase for $20.
So let me ask you this. So I give you each $400, and I say, hey, take this $400, go buy whatever cards you want from Minty Gym. You going to drop that $400 on 2 booster boxes of Perfect Order, or are you going to drop that on 4 poster collections of Ascended Heroes?
I'd buy the Ascended Heroes.
I'd buy the Ascended Heroes. Less packs.
What's the time frame?
Today.
Yeah, I think Ascended Heroes is the right decision.
That's it. Ascended Heroes is going to be the Crown or Evolving Skies.
Or 151.
If you pull a chase card out of Ascended Heroes versus you get Perfect Order and you pull, like, let's just say you pull the Mega Zygarde.
Yeah.
Which one are you more jacked about?
Well,
For sure, the
Ascended Heroes has got a lot.
Not the let's say you didn't pull the Gengar,
Right.
But like something
else.
The Pikachu.
let's say you pull the
SIR,
Mewtwo. The Mewtwo's about the same price right now as the Mega Zygarde.
Yeah, like I'm more excited to pull the cards out of Ascended Heroes because the spread is better than what the spread is in Perfect Order. And to be fair though, like Stellar Crown's a good example. I have a hidden agenda with Stellar Crown, period. But the 2 most expensive cards in Stellar Crown, Trav, do you know what they are?
The Terrapagos.
No.
And hold on then.
They're
the Squirtle. And Bulbasaur.
Yep, nailed it. Right, mainstays.
Yeah.
Right, mainstays. Not there's a.
It was a Terrapagos.
Yes, the Terrapagos was the number one hit. There's also a Hydrapple, Doxbun, and then a Lacey, a trainer. So that rounds out your top 6, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think Stellar Crown got a booster box reprint.
I don't.
The only
think so,
ETB
maybe.
that it got was through Pokemon Center. So I think there's a limited amount of Stellar Crown relative to all the other sets around it. It wasn't in a bunch of products either. Like that was SV7. SV8 is Surging Sparks. 8.5 is Prismatic, and then 9 is Journey Together. There are collection boxes now that have a bunch of Journey Together in it. So I don't think that Stellar Crown was printed a lot. Locally here, we had a disbursement to local grocery stores of sleeve packs of Stellar Crown. And that was the first time I'd seen Stellar Crown out in the wild for a long time. And
Stellar Crown, for the longest time, we had a lot of it. We just couldn't get rid of it.
Correct.
And
Well,
it's
we
kind
had
of
bought all those chest. We got some videos you could put
Yeah.
up of the towers of the lunchbox tins that
Yeah.
we bought that had 3 packs of Stellar.
And Journey
We
Together
had
was kind of the
4,000
same way.
packs, and then it's like I came in one day and they were all gone.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the hell happened?
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And we haven't seen any since then.
Right.
And that was like December,
Right.
January of last year. And we haven't seen any more come through in collection boxes or from distributors,
Yeah.
right?
But I like that. I mean, I like them basically from a collectability standpoint.
Yeah.
They have a window where they print it heavy, and then it's like done. And then there's, they'll come out with a few products here and there that will end up having it in there, like a collection box or a tin. But for the most part, it's done.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me with the draw of the promo from Obsidian Flames ETB, which is the Charmander. And Jack will throw one up, but it's the Charmander who's inside the house, kind of with his nose up on the window. There's a Pidgey in it. The Squirtle is playing in a little water thing. There's a Pidgey in it. And the Bulbasaur is sitting inside, just chilling in the sunlight. There's a Pidgey in it, right? So those three kind of go together, even though they don't connect in artworks. It wouldn't surprise me that as the Charmander increases in value, that so do these two, which then drives up Stellar Crown. But we're talking like 2 years after it's released, right? Like,
Yeah. Did you guys see the Charmander promo is $70 a pop now? When was the last time you saw an ETB promo be $70?
What was
Not even
that-
the Snorlax from 151 is $70.
what was the Hidden Fates promo?
the stained glass birds?
It was really cool,
But
right?
how long did that take compared to Obsidian Flames? Guys were only dropped in 2022.
Yeah.
Like that's
No, 2023.
2023?
That was like one of the first sets that the store could get its hands on.
so 3 years ago,
Yeah.
and it's $70 already. That's kind of crazy for an ETB promo compared to the stained glass birds from Hidden Fates, which
Yeah.
is
Well, on that same topic, we're talking about $250 to $300 price point. You can still get a Battle Styles
Yeah, booster box.
Yeah.
for $260.
Pokemon Center just dropped more of those.
So Battle Styles, very first set that had alt arts. Okay, and so for the
Sleepy Tyrannosaur's in there. Right?
yeah, Sleepy Tyranitar is in there.
You get Urshifu's?
Empoleon,
Oh.
2 Urshifuse, 4 Urshifuse. And so when you talk about cards that you want to collect, like how do you not, if you got $250 to spend, how do you not prioritize going and getting the 3.5-year-old Battle Styles that
Yeah.
you know is never going to be reprinted, that people slept on, and it's like people were trashing the set, but if you compare Battle Styles with the artworks, I have it pulled up right now on my screen. Jack will throw them up all day long. I would take Battle Styles over Perfect Order in terms of the artworks that are available to be pulled. And so I feel like that, people have this such narrow view on the Pokemon hobby that, hey, I have to go and put my money on this newest set because that's the recency thing.
Yeah.
Where it's like, no, just, collect what you like.
Yeah.
Go for the artworks that are cool. Find the value in the hobby. And
yeah, I think you're exactly right. I think a lot of people get tunnel vision
yes, that's a good word to
because
put it.
in their minds, the only way they can get product is big box store.
Yeah.
And the only thing big box store is going to sell is the most recent set.
Yeah.
You're not going to find a Battle Styles booster box in a big box store.
Yeah.
Right? So it's just like this tunnel vision hits them to where that's all they see, so that's all they think is available, and that's all they can focus in on. But guys, you should just go to your local card shop and and take a look around, because there's probably some cool stuff in there that you're not going to ever find in a big box store that you could allocate that money towards versus a $300 booster box that hit the shelves yesterday.
Yeah. So your question of, hey, I handed you $400, roll in a mini gem and do what you want.
Yeah.
To be frank, I'm not buying product. You gave me those two options, so I chose one. I'm not buying product. I'm buying single cards.
Yeah.
I'm buying
That's
the cards.
right answer. Every
I'm
time.
buying the cards that I want, because for me, the dopamine rush of spending $400 and then getting a hit is fantastic. Don't get me wrong. I'm also adult enough to recognize that 3 weeks after the fact, where I'm looking at where did that $400 go, I'd rather look at the cards that I wanted
Yeah.
versus the cards that were in those packs. And so I'm probably trying to find some, Jack and I were talking about this, in the EX era, old school EX era, they did dual type Pokemon that have the dark color emblem for dark, but then they put the steel
Yeah.
emblem over the top of it.
That's
and
cool.
those are I don't know, $12 cards or $15 cards, whatever. I would try to grab those because I think those are not trying to be super salesy in saying, hey, go visit your local card store, but go visit your local card store and see the singles that they have and take a look at stuff. And don't
Even honestly, not to cut you off, but even the card store is nice because you get to like physically see a card and
Yeah.
appreciate the artwork. There's something about, seeing an older card and seeing the texture and the style. All the chases, they look better in person than just the kind of picture, up on TCG. But if you're just like, dumpster diving more or less, like you're just trying to find value, like I hate to harp on this battle styles thing, but there's rainbow rares that are like $3 a card.
Yeah.
And a rainbow rare back from the Sword and Shield era, that's like one in every 30 packs.
Yeah.
I mean, they're super hard to pull, and the collector value just isn't there.
Right.
So if I'm putting $250 in, and I'm kind of going to my local card store, and I have a binder, and I'm showing people kind of hits, dude, you can build a sick binder with not very much money.
Yeah.
On cards where it's like, oh my gosh, that's a hard pull. That's a hard pull. It'll take 30 packs to pull that. But the economy of people haven't placed the value on that card, and so you're either going to be a follower to just put your money on what other people derive as being the card that's collectible, or you kind of be a trailblazer and you just say, you know what,
I like these. I like these. This is what I collect.
Or I know statistically this isn't a fantastic bargain buy. Everybody else has this card as a $3 card, but I know that card is a very, very, very hard card to pull, and I'm buying value.
Yeah.
And so it's just, because if you said, hey, $250, and you said, hey, I'm going to buy singles, for $250, I could get, 1 in 30 packs. Yep, $3. 1 in 30 packs. Yep, $4. 1 in 40 packs. And you could just come away with like, dude, it's not like the ultimate chase, but you've scooped up so much value out of doing that. Not enough people do that.
Yeah, agreed. And I've said this on this show before. I'm going to take the opportunity to jump back in it. So I'm standing on my soapbox and I'm going to rant a little bit, which is if you are in Pokemon for the hobby and you're worried about the value of what your stuff is, this isn't a hobby. This is a side hustle for you. Hobbies are like bowling or golf. Trav, you golf a little bit, right?
Yeah, not as much as I used to. But
do you look at your old green fees receipts and wish that they would have appreciated for more?
No, I pay money on the nicest clubs to go 4 times a year, to pay money to go out and golf, and then complain that it's taking 5 hours and my whole day is shot when I'm done.
Okay, so great. So this is perfect. And then in that, are you in the clubhouse afterwards talking about how great your how much money you spent, how much it's worth now? Right? No, that was just it's a sunk cost, right?
Yeah. It's
Whether
entertainment. You pay for entertainment.
You're hanging out with your spouse or with your kid or with your in-laws or whatever.
Everybody knows this. Danny Phantom has had a wonderful job to coordinate this. The fun factor.
Oh, fun
fair.
money.
Yeah, you pay for the fun factor. So don't forget that. To his point, I pay $50 to go golf 18 holes, take 4 hours. I pay $50 on a hobby to go buy some packs that are actually going to have some residual value, and there's the entertainment aspect to it.
And so if your enjoyment level of that $50 is dictated by what it's worth at the end of it, that's a different type of hobby.
Yeah.
Right? And there are different levels there. One of the beautiful things of being inside of a retail store is you get to see people. Yesterday I helped a fun couple. She was simply looking for cards that were green and red. That was it. She was looking for full art cards that were green and red. And she got so tickled on a $2 full art or a $3 full art, right? Mm-hmm. And she had pulled a chase out of Destined Rivals, the Team Rockets Moltres. And she had traded that in, and she was able to swap that for like 11 different cards that she enjoyed more, that had these colors that she thought were great. Some of them were commons. Some of them were just reverse holos, right? And it's like, yes, I recognize that there are people that want to go chase the value. Good for you. That's fine. But there are still people out there that are simply collecting what they want to collect because they think it's fun.
I give my brother a lot of grief. You know this because every time he comes in the shop. Yeah. But something that I really appreciate when my brother comes in the shop is he will look at just a regular EX and just go, God, that's a wicked card. And he just falls in love with it. And me, knowing what I know after doing this so long, I'm like, that's just a reg EX. You put like 6 of those in a box. Yeah. But to him, it's just like, that card's dope. I'm gonna
Yep.
pick that up, and he will just straight up grab something off Vibes, and I think that is the coolest thing
Yep.
and most underappreciated thing. I wish that I had more of it myself.
Exactly. I
Yeah.
wish I could invest more in the Pokemon community collecting on Vibes only.
Yeah,
Because that would change things. I've mentioned this a couple times. Okay, I'm off my soapbox. I'm now on to a different thing. Jack got me excited about specific artists. And so I remember there's this moment where I'm going back through like 7 sets worth of bulk that I had. And I'm simply looking for reverse hollows. And we're talking like reverse hollows of Stunfisk and Blitzel and Slowbro from Astral and from Brilliant
Yeah, brother.
Stars. And I got as excited about finding that in my bulk than I did about pulling the chase or the hit out of there because I knew it was going to go in my minor. And so vibe collecting is a thing.
yeah. Then you got your wife doing it.
She totally does it now. Yep. And she gets so excited over the smallest value of cards. The most expensive card she has in her collection is probably N's Plan from Journey.
Aid's Plan is from Black Bolt.
Black Bolt, the
Love
special
that card.
illustration rare.
Ferris wheel
but
by Red.
she's not really a fan of that one. She would rather have the Furret from Journey Together, right? Like that's her favorite card. So anyway, okay, a couple things coming up. They announced some new mini tins. They're not necessarily tied to a set release like they have been. The past few mini tins we've gotten are tied with like Black Bolt, White Flare, or with Ascended Heroes. This should be a mix. It's called the Lumiose City mini tins. Each mini tin here has got a little scene of the Pokemon Legends ZA with the Lumiose City Prism Tower in the background. Don't know what's in those, but my guess would be potentially
Perfect Order, Chaos Rising.
Rising. That's my guess because they release in the beginning of June. There are some exclusive to China, Chinese Gem Packs Volume 5 releasing in April.
Yep.
So some of that will bleed over into the U.S. economy. But those Gem Pack cards are cool. The hits are great. They look different. Usually they're exclusive art. We had an Umbreon in store here, the little sleepy Umbreon. Once again, Jack will put it up. Cool card. Looks much better, as Travis alluded to earlier. Looking at a card in person is just different than seeing it online. Seeing how the holo hits, seeing how the texture hits. I don't know what the chases are out of those cards, out of that set, but I anticipate that they're gonna be great.
Something kind of interesting with this Gem Pack Volume 5 that's dropping. The Gem Pack Volume 1 had illustration rares of the Paldean starters.
Okay.
So Sprig, Coco, and
Yep.
Quaxley. Gem Pack Volume 5 is doing illustration rares 4 sets later of the second evolution.
Okay.
So the Crocolore,
Floragato.
Quaxwell, Floragato. Those 3 get illustration rares in this one. So a lot of speculation on if Gym Packs are going to get their first SARs as the starter
got
stage
it.
2s.
Yeah.
Like 3 more sets down the line or whatever.
Meowscarada and
We'll see.
Skeletors. Okay, interesting.
All right. Let's move on to our hot list, Trav. We got a hot list today?
What do you guys want to talk about? I don't have one.
We don't have one today? That's cool because we don't have a lot of time.
I think, start a timer. I'm interested to ask you this question. We sat here and we went over the Nile Zero hits. We've kind of touched on this a little bit. We joked, but then you said it multiple times, which me, knowing you for a long time, knows that you probably do think this. So I'm going to ask you straight up. You had anticipated that Perfect Order was going to tank the Pokemon economy. Yet we've got booster boxes that went from sub 200 for a minute on TCG Player and pre-orders back up to the 250 number. What do you think that says about the Pokemon economy as a whole?
Yeah, that's rewind the tape. This was probably 4 or 5 episodes ago when we were going through Perfect Order, and I think around that time we were putting our pre-orders in, or had just finalized pre-orders. But yeah, booster box prices was sub 200.
Yeah.
It was a short window of time. It came there, and we had a long segment about kind of artworks, and is artworks kind of the trailing indicator of set performance, or is it just the set itself, and kind of all this speculation. And I did say, if there was going to be a set that kind of tanked the market, it was going to be like the Rebel Clash, equivalent type set that was just dog doo-doo. But then I think I minimized the amount of maybe new people that are entering into the hobby from just the hype train. Like, net new people coming in because the hype is there globally. It's like normal people that go to Target and parents and moms that are there all the time, that they always see people at the Pokemon lines, and they're just wondering, like, what is this? They go to Costco, they're like, what is this? There was a video that came out here this week that was what was it? It was Best Buy, and somebody posted a video or a picture to say, what is going on at Best Buy? And there was a line wrapped around the door, and it ended up getting like 1 million views on X.
Saw that.
And it was kind of like, the guy legitimately didn't know, and people in the comments were like, I knew immediately, oh, that's got to be Pokemon. And they were like, yeah, that's Pokemon. And he's asking questions like, so tell me, like, what's going on here? And people, there were comments about, well, there's a gambling aspect, and people get into it. And it was just funny kind of reading other people's, like, clearly this was a post that was in, like, the non-Pokemon sphere, and people are trying to dissect what this craze is. My point is that people are seeing that, right? And that buzz is electric, and it's there, and it's kind of bringing people that are the non-normies into the hobby. Is that growth outpacing the lower quality of sets that are into the hobby that we're disappointed? Hey, we don't like this set.
I think you're right.
It bums us out. And
I think a lot of it stems too from I can't find us in the Euros, and I want to rip something.
Yeah, I got money that I allocated in my mind, in my budget to spend on Pokemon product. There isn't anything here, so I'm just going to get this.
Yeah, I think that's also a big part of it.
Like for us, when Perfect Order comes out, yeah, it's a turd set. I personally don't like it. I'm somebody that has invested in sets for 5 years, right? Like, am I going to leave the hobby because I don't like one set? No.
You're just gonna
I'm super sticky. I'm just going to put my money on other areas that are going to inflate those markets. So we just had this conversation about Stellar Crown. Well, I'm not putting money in Perfect Order because I don't really like the set, but I'm still going to put money into the hobby, whether it's buying slabs, buying singles, elevating the sale pressure on those other things. And so if Pokemon knows statistically that every core release there's $250 million of wallet share to put in, and people just aren't going to put it into sealed product, that money's still probably going to pour into the hobby. It's still going to prop up everything else. It's still going to make me want to stick into the hobby. And if it allows other people to get a lower entry price, that's only going to compound to have them now be new members of the hobby.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of like one of our very first episodes, we said, man, Pokemon don't miss. They can't do anything wrong. Even like when us collectors say we don't like that set, it's like, well, it's still selling for $250.
There's another thing that I think is hard to see because we're in this every day often, which is if you just zoom out to the last 90 days and think about it, Christmas time is about 90 days ago. Okay, so there's your context. For a lot of people with small children, traveling, sports, whatever the case may be, they turn around and it was Christmas break. They're going back to school now out of spring break, but they're turning around and it was just Christmas break. And they're thinking their kid loves Pokemon. It's been a frenzy in Pokemon for a solid 15 months. Now you've got a set that a level 2 or level 3 collector is not going to go invest in or spend money on, but you have people that are relatively new to the hobby that just see the logo, Pokemon, and they see that it's got cards in it, and they're going to scoop it. So I think there's some of that also for people who are going to pick up this set just purely based on the fact of the track record of Pokemon who don't necessarily know what's in it, but they're like, man, everybody I know buys Pokemon, and they buy the packs whenever they can at Target. And so I'm just going to buy these just because, and you're right, Pokemon's not going to miss. They're not going to have, it's not going to be Shrouded Fable where it's available in ETB form at big box stores for the next 9 months, right? Like Shrouded Fable was. It's all going to be gone. And then we're going to hit Chaos Rising, and we're going to be in a similar situation. It may have cooled by then, but then at that time, we're due for either a big set or their summer set or another specialty set. It could be their 3rd gen set. We don't know yet. It hasn't been released.
You know what's interesting, though, about this whole thing? If you look at kind of the crazy spike on the hobby, surging sparks, the Pikachu came out, it kind of spiked things. But then there was a season where it was prismatic, and then everybody was crazed with Journey Together with the tag teams. Now, Journey Together hasn't really ended up proving out to be a super good set, but still, it was just so much hype. All these tag teams back, it's the partner, it's the trainer cards, this is fantastic. And then you had Destined Rivals, the Team Rocket, and it was just boom, 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 boom. And there was this 3-4 set where, like, you're looking forward to the next set more than you're looking forward to the previous set.
Yeah.
And then Mega came out, and it's kind of been a little bit not that.
Yeah.
Not as hyped as the Journey, the Destined, the Prismatic. that, oh, I'm really looking forward to this set, but they just announced this other set that I'm super looking forward to.
Yeah.
And so I don't really know. I mean, as they transition to a brand new era, this same thing happened at the start of SV Base, where SV Base and Paldea and Obsidian Flames wasn't initially received well at all. They were very, 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 very poor sets. And then Paldea has ended up, proven to be one of the better sets, but people missed it in the moment.
Yeah.
So it just makes me wonder, is like, what is that going to be the case on a go-forward basis? Like, when I look back at Mega Evolution, the base set, I think it's a fantastic base set.
Yeah.
Some great art, and then, so it's just interesting. It's funny how time, can kind of go by and make you reevaluate what you thought in the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So let's.
He's like, yeah, that's a good Travis. Yeah, shut up.
No, I mean, you're not wrong. I have nothing to add to it. I think you hit it spot on.
Yeah, I think you did.
But yeah, I just want to squeeze Tinker Time in here before we wrap things up because we got about 10 minutes. So.
Let's do it.
All right. What time is it?
Tinker time.
Tinker Time. Let's go. This week for Tinker Time, it's March Madness, boys.
Oh, we did a bracket to give away a Perfect Order booster box because I don't like that set. So we're just giving one away.
Nobody joined.
We have 7 people in it. They're all employees.
Except one.
I got
Kraus,
Oh, yeah.
Kraus snuck
The
his
winner-
wife in
I was
there.
I was gonna wait for them to be the winner, and then I was gonna give everybody a hard time to say we're not giving away a booster box. We're gonna get one customer to sign up for this bracket. No, we'll still.
Didn't have time.
It'll still be a fun little thing.
Yeah. Back to bracketology, though. That's what we got for Tinker Time. So, I, earlier this week, put together a bracket, put it out on Facebook and everything, of legendary Pokemon. And out of all the legendary Pokemon, not all of them, but as many as I could fit in the bracket, who would come out as the champion through a bracket. Mm-hmm. Now, I already put my own spin on this in my own answers, but I want to get your guys' take to see where you would have shaken it out compared to what I did. So, I'm going to go through the matchups one by one. Okay. You tell me who wins. You guys, if you both disagree, I'm the tiebreaker.
Okay.
That's all we have time for.
So I'm just giving you. I'm just picking.
I'm going to give you 2 options. You guys both either concur or disagree, and I will break the tie.
Okay.
All right, so in the first sector of the bracket, we have Mewtwo against Ho-Oh. Mewtwo wins? Look at Kraus. He just wants Mewtwo to lose.
No, Mewtwo's right.
All right, so Mewtwo wins in the first bracket. Then we've got Kyurem against Lugia.
No, Kieran wins. Ice.
Oh, boy. I got Lugia winning.
That's fine.
Yeah. So Lugia takes that one. All right, then we got Palkia against Reshiram.
Fire. Time.
Palkia.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had Palkia winning.
Palkia just stops time and then destroys him. Okay.
All right, then we've got Dialga and Giratina.
Tina sends him to the lost zone, bro. Just get out of here, go to this.
He's like, you can tell that I don't play. He's like all analyzing the moves. I'm just thinking of money. Which one do I like best?
Oh, Jesus. All right. So that is the, I guess would be the northwest, southwest. This is the northeast now. You got Rayquaza against Kyogre.
Rayquaza.
Got Rayquaza. Lunala against Groudon.
No. I mean, from a value perspective, yeah, nobody cares about Lunala, but.
Unless you're the.
Groudon. Yeah.
You both want Groudon?
Yeah, Lunala
Okay.
just.
I picked Lunala.
Is
no
that
hope.
what's the tag team SIR?
Lunala and
Lunala and
Solgaleo.
Solgaleo
Yeah.
with Lily, right?
Yeah.
I had Lunala because when I did this, I did it based off of design and like my favorite that I thought were cool.
There's so many ways that you can do this.
Yeah.
Groudon destroyed the
Artwork.
planet.
But you both said Groudon, so Groudon wins.
Groudon destroyed the planet. Rayquaza had to come quiet him down. Not once, but twice.
That's fair. All right, so next you got Zekrom and Xerneas.
Xerneas is a wimp, man. Zekrom all day long.
Yeah,
Dragon.
And Zekrom
Dragon
too.
over the stag. Yeah, sorry.
All right, Solgaleo and Yveltal.
Vettel. Yeah.
I got Yveltal too.
Yeah.
Sweet. All right, so here's your Elite Eight. You've got Mewtwo,
Yeah.
Lugia, Palkia, Giratina, Rayquaza,
Who's gonna be tough
Groudon, Zekrom, and Yveltal. That's your Elite Eight. All right, so let's see who makes Final Four. First, you got Mewtwo and Lugia.
Me too.
Mewtwo. Me and Kraus break the tie.
Oh yeah, 'cause he's like your favorite. He's your boy.
All right, then we got Tina and Palkia.
Tina.
I had Tina as well. Rayquaza and Groudon.
Rayquaza.
Rayquaza.
Clearly,
Groudon
Rayquaza.
can't attack him much because Rayquaza's flying.
Well, Rayquaza just comes to shut Groudon up anyways, right? So yeah.
Rayquaza's like the stepdad.
Yeah. Yveltal and Zekrom.
Zekrom.
Oh man. No, Yveltal's too powerful.
Yeah, I said Yveltal.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's another one of my boys. So sorry. All right, so your final four. We've got Mewtwo, Tina, Yveltal, and Rayquaza. Here we go. Mewtwo and Tina.
Yeah, Tina.
I'm going to say Tina, but because I'm going off of the who picked it, so let's say Mewtwo.
So it's just out of spite.
Yeah, let's go Mewtwo.
So I did have Mewtwo, but you guys, this is your version. I'm just the tiebreaker between you two if you disagree. But you both said Tina, so Tina beats
okay.
Mewtwo in your version.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tina.
Did
So
you pick Mewtwo?
I picked Mewtwo.
Yeah.
So Tina is in the finals.
Yeah.
And then you've got Rayquaza against Yveltal.
Yeah, it's Rayquaza.
Yeah, Rayquaza.
So Rayquaza beats Yveltal. I also had Rayquaza beating Yveltal. So then your final matchup, boys, is Giratina against Rayquaza. Who's your champion?
Yeah, it's got to be.
I like Rayquaza more, but I'm going to say I think it's probably Tina wins.
Okay, so
But I know you're a Tina boy.
I am, but I'm just as I have before. I'm gonna bring. Here's my nerd alert. Right. Rayquaza can Mega. Giratina can't. Rayquaza wins.
So I got to break a tie.
Yeah.
So it all comes down to me. Mewtwo.
Both disqualified. Yeah.
If I had to pick between Tina and Rayquaza, I actually think Tina's taking it.
Okay.
I know Rayquaza
Love
can
it.
Mega, but I think Tina's going to throw him in the distortion.
Yeah. Just
world,
take him to
and
the
it's just
distortion
gonna
world
be-
and it's over.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
So if this was a AI-based real action,
Oh,
you know,
dude.
like the National Geographic guy,
Sign me up.
and if he made like a 1-minute clip of every one of this brackets of them fighting together, dude, I would watch that like for get my popcorn and.
I will put it on my list. Give me a year.
Yeah.
Well, give it soon enough, long enough. It's going to be one of those things where it's like, hey AI, I want to watch this video and
Yeah.
please do this, and you're going to make your own content.
Yeah?
You're not going to have to tune into content. You're going to make whatever you want in the moment, on the spot, on the fly, programmed specifically for you.
Yep.
We're not there yet, but man,
And Jack's
it's
out
a
of a
whole
job.
new world. Like going over on the Mayflower, dude. It's
So a thing happened, and it took 2 minutes of my life that I'm proud to give it, which was I watched a AI generated backstory for Lil Mac in Super Punch Out, and it made him fight Glass Joe and Bald Bull and all of those guys, and then there was still some comedy to it in the sense like cartoony comedy to it, like how Lil Mac knocks some people out and does a star punch or whatever. But at the end, when he walks in and Mike Tyson was there, right, looking at him, it was like, oh, dude, I would totally watch that. I would pay the $7 to go to a movie theater and watch that with my kids. Even though I know that it's like one of those, hey man, this isn't going to win an Oscar for best acting and whatever, but like, just give me that new version of it. I mean, Disney's been doing it forever, where they're taking animated and turning it into live action. Give me
They
the
just
same thing
dropped the
with video
trailer
games.
for Moana.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
We don't need to talk about that.
All right, well, that's it, boys.
All right.
Take it home.
That's it.
All right,
Peace
appreciate
out,
you
y'all.
guys. Thank you. See you next time for 12.
Well, good stuff.